I'm not hearing finance. I'm hearing that you get enjoyment out of being stressed out every month.
Yeah, that probably. I think so. I thrive under chaos. I'll take all the pressure.
Wait a minute, Donna. You gotta tell her a quote.
Chaos is not cute.
Success is a lie if you're failing inside. You can't grow a business you hate. Welcome to the Business Reality Check.
Welcome to the Business Reality Check podcast. I'm Jonna.
And I'm Lori. And together we founded Thrive Collective because we are deeply passionate about the solopreneur and the small business owner. We're tired of seeing people try to build a business based on someone else's lifestyle or a proven formula that just doesn't fit who they are.
Absolutely. We believe that your business should be a reflection of your journey and your values. We're here because we care about the precision behind the professional, and we want to help you realign your work with your life that you actually want to lead. If you're feeling like you're stuck or living in a business that was built for someone else, you're not alone. This podcast is about having those heart-centered conversations that you need now before you hit a breaking point. We're going to look at what's truly holding you back and challenge the shoulds that keep you small. We do this with kindness and radical clarity because you deserve a business that works for you and not against you.
And if you'd like to see our faces and feel like you're right here in the room with us, head over to youtube.com/@BizRealityCheckPod or listen wherever you get your podcasts. The podcast notes will have all the links and resources from today's episode as well. And if you're ready for your own reality check, we've included a link where you can apply to be a guest. We'd love to hear your story. All right, let's get started.
All right, so today we're sitting down with Devin, owner of Fernwell Salon and Spa. And I want you to hear why she built this place in the first place, right? Because it matters. Devin spent years working in salons and watched things happen that she knew were wrong. Environments where women felt like they had to tolerate things that they shouldn't just to keep their jobs or their clients, right? Toxic culture, poor leadership, situations that no woman should ever have to normalize. So when she decided to build her own space, she made a promise that Fernwell would be different. The culture would come first, that every person who walked through that door, whether they worked there or came in as a client, would feel respected, safe, and taken care of. She's less than a year in. She's working 50-hour weeks in the chair. She's working on renovating the space on her days off because she refuses to close and disrupt her clients. She's inherited a space that hadn't been properly maintained for over the last 20 years and has been rebuilding it literally from the inside out. And she's doing this all while building a team culture that she says feels completely different now. Positive, collaborative, women hyping each other up. And what she's not saying is that she's putting out fires every day, that cash flow is a little bit tight, and that she's figuring things out as she goes, and privately wondering if she's building a real business or just a very expensive, exhausting job. So Devin, we are so glad you're here today, and we're excited to dive in with you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited and nervous.
That's perfect. It's a perfect place to be. I know that on your application, you said you didn't really have maybe like a specific question going into the conversation, but really just that your mindset has kind of been in head down mode, building mode. And I think we're going to push back a little bit on that today. And I think because the fact that you don't have, maybe a specific question per se, we want to ask a little differently. So if there's something that could shift for you today and you could walk away kind of having that or knowing that, what would that be for you?
What do you mean?
So if something could shift for you today in your business, what would that be?
Like the pressure of like financial stuff for sure, because it's really different when you're not renovating, that kind of thing. But when you're trying to build, renovate, fixing things that are old and broken, that just puts like stress on the ball game,
Yeah. I think for any of us who are listening who have done any kind of build out, brick and mortar, we are nodding with you.
Yeah.
You know what that feels like. Personally, I've been there several times and it can be rough. Build outs, construction, all that.
Yeah. So. Lots of surprises.
Oh yeah. We love a good surprise, right?
Not this kind of surprise. Not this kind.
No.
Oh man. Okay. So that gives us a little bit of insight too. And we have some questions around that later on as we get into them, where we're going to talk a little bit about, some of those financials and, systems and tools that you use and things like that. I know we wanted to start with one question because this is going to kind of help shape what we talk about. And so we wanted to know a little bit about the structure of your salon to start. So is it commission based? Is it like a booth rental? How do you operate the space?
So mainly commission. So I have 12 girls, mainly commission. I have 2 receptionists. I have 2 assistants that are hourly and commission as well. And then I have 1 1099 girl. So, but mainly commission.
Okay. And the 1099, what does she do?
She does nails and like waxing.
Oh, okay. So a little bit more like a booth rental sort of a situation.
She's in a room in the spa.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then 12 people based on commission.
Mm-hmm.
Does that include you being behind the chair?
No, that's 13 including me.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Thank you. We wouldn't normally start there, but your business is more nuanced and it deserves to have that sculpt exactly how we go through the rest of this. So thank you for that. I think where Jonna wants to take you though first is more about the why. So everybody can hear a little bit more and we can all get grounded together in why this place. So
yes. So as you've told us, and we kind of just shared with the audience a little bit, we know you come from working in a lot of places that had a lot of, negative toxic energy and not the best places, or taking advantage of people who are working there. And I think that always bleeds over into the client side of things too, right? Because they can feel the drama, the tension, the, disinterest in the business and things like that. And so we want to expand on that a little bit and just learn a little bit more about your why, why you decided to take this leap of faith and do this, and kind of just go into your core a little bit.
Yeah, so I basically the past 10 years, I had managed and ran like an old salon, and I had to leave there last summer. So I kind of was like left at a crossroad. I'm like, what do I do? Do I go fuck off to Europe and go over there? Or, I got my personal training license. I'm like, because I'm really big into fitness. Is that somewhere I go? So, I just went out on a whim and I asked one of my girls that I knew, shout out Danielle Martini, salons for sale. And it just so happened I found out about this place and it was the exact vibe I wanted. I'm really big on quality, not quantity, that kind of thing. And it's kind of full circle for me because it's in the same shopping center I went to cosmetology school in. So it's pretty cool.
That's an extra cool thing. I love that. We are going to touch a little bit more on like the location, the physicality of it. But I'm just curious because I've seen some of the photos on Google Photos and in socials. Give us a little bit of a sense of like, there was a lot that had to be done. Did you know that going in? Was that part of why you wanted to work with the space? Or
I had for sure. I didn't, I had 10 stations, 5 shampoo bowls. I really didn't want to go any bigger than that because that's one of the things I've seen in this industry. When people go too big, they start to control. It's hard to figure out, product management, just personalities. It's a bunch of girls. We got hormones, we're dealing with that kind of stuff too. So, I had good bones. I've done multiple renovations before. So, when I looked at the place, I would just started spewing out, all right, designing the first time I walked in there.
And do you feel like it's at that point where you're complete, or what else is left? Give us just a sense. What are you working on, just so we understand where you're at?
Yeah, so it's not complete, but it's definitely getting to my standards. We're closer now than I've ever been. So, we've done a complete renovation of the salon or the spa side of it. The first thing we did was add spray tans to it. So now we're offering spray tans. We did one of the esthetician rooms, a bathroom, the shampoo area, the up front. Like we've done quite a bit, but there's still some fewer big projects to do. And then it's just more of like the little touches and making it, giving that quirky like character.
Okay. And so are the big things prohibiting you from income streams?
No, not really. So the next thing we have to do is flooring. The salon is 20 square feet.
Okay.
So we might have to close down for half a day on a Saturday, but I'm going to try to get a team of boys in there so we don't have to close down.
It's like whip it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we wouldn't normally dive in, but I'm just wondering, is flooring what you need to spend money on right now to make sure you get money in the door?
Nope, I bought that Black Friday, so we're just waiting.
Waiting to have the money for the labor for the install.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
It should be coming up soon. In the next couple of weeks, we'll be putting it in. So,
Okay. Because you had talked about money and cash flow.
Mhm.
So that's where my first question's coming in is, how do you manage that right now? Is it tight because of that, or is it something that you've already managed to save for on top of the cash flow required for everything else?
yeah, just putting it aside,
Okay.
planning for this, because the flooring is like definitely the most important part to it, and it's gonna like basically complete what the biggest parts look like, so.
Mhm.
Okay. And then are the hours on your website accurate? You're closed Sunday, Monday?
Yep,
Okay.
that's pretty typical for a salon.
Yeah, I was just checking in terms of like installation, because you were saying you might have to close for something, but it does seem like you have decent availability to get things done on your close days
Yeah.
to not necessarily interrupt, to your point, interrupt the cash flow that you have on the
Mhm.
rest of the days.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Jonna, handing it back over. Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the name. So was this a name that you created or yeah. So tell us a little bit about, kind of the story behind the name.
Yeah, so I'm pretty proud of the name. A lot of thought, a lot of depth to it. But I was messing around with a couple different ideas. I think one of the first ones we came up with was Brew, BRU. My aunt who's in sales, she's like, I hate it. It's good for people to spell, all that kind of stuff. And it's so funny because I literally can remember to this day, I was coming back from a CrossFit class and I was driving on the road, like remember the place, everything. Fernwell like clicked into my mind because I had been messing around with like a few different words, and then fern came in. So fern is just a resilient plant. It grows in like less than perfect conditions. It's also a nod to folklore and Scotland. Like I've been there a couple times, did my first solo there, so it's very special to me. And then well is just about sustainability and a gathering place. So
it's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. We'll touch on this in a couple of different timings and ways, but I do think having more of that information on your website would be pretty awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a really cool story.
Yeah, I want to hear, I want to see more of that story and like your personality and your core values and things like that inside of that brand, because I feel like your why is so important and so big, because so many people have suffered through the same thing. You know what I mean? They felt that, and so you need to shout that, make that part of your marketing, make it part of your values.
Noted.
So, so touching on that, so you built the place because you saw how people are being treated in other salons and you wanted to change that and create a new standard. So do you feel like you're treating yourself, your staff, everybody, do you feel like they're in a happy place, that you're doing what you set out to do?
Absolutely. You can't just, you got to walk it.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Lori, did you want to expand on that at all?
Is this so you have the 12 on your staff right now doing the different services. Were they from the other salon before, or did they all come with you?
It's probably half and half. I want to say yeah, probably half and half. It's definitely more, I've had a little bit more turnover. It's definitely a younger feel now. Right? The younger girls love to do the TikToks and the social media, so they have fun with that, let them at it.
Okay, cool. I think that helps paint the picture of what all you have if we didn't with you.
Yeah. So now you're in the space, you're still working on it. I want to know 5 years from now, right? Not thinking about all the to-do list things, just thinking about the big picture. What do you want the space like? If somebody walks in, what do you want it to feel like when they walk into the space 5 years from now?
Honestly, I just want it to feel like a home away from home for people. And I kind of just want them to feel like they walked into a fairy tale, or it kind of goes into the whole magic thing of when you're younger as a child, reading a book about Narnia or Harry Potter, just kind of remembering that inner child. So that's why it's really important to me to do those tiny little touches and, just put your heart into soul, wherever you can. So
I like that.
Yeah, I really want people to feel calmed and, they're a little kid again and they don't have to be as stressed and stuff like that.
That's good. I think this is a really good segue to kind of dive into the who a little bit more too, unless you had any more questions about the why, Lori.
No, that's exactly what I'm thinking, because you're painting the picture. And so now naturally our brains are like, okay, so who are we serving this magical experience?
Yeah. So like, what does your clientele, look like? Is it a certain age? Is it a certain demographic? Let's, kind of break into, is it someone who has had bad experiences in other salons? What do they look like?
Yeah, it's really kind of all over the place, because we have 19-year-olds all the way up to like 50s, something like that. So really just cater to every type of person, male, female. University of Delaware is 2 miles down the road. So that's slowly gotten into. I've had some sorority girls come in now. So, but it's definitely needs to have the younger clientele come in now. So.
Okay, so you would like to make sure the focus is on younger, like millennial Gen Z type?
Yeah.
Okay, so millennial Gen Z is what they have in common. But I notice you have all different services, right? So you're not necessarily specializing in blondes or vivids. It's a myriad of things focusing in on millennial Gen Z. Okay. I think we understand that, because, with income level and things like that, that changes, because you might have people who are supported a certain way in a sorority or in college versus first job or well-established. You're going to get like the gamut.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really apply.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's more about, well, and you want it to feel like a home from home. Do you want it to feel higher end? Do you want it to feel approachable? Like, let's kind of get into some of those more specifics too, like when they walk into the space.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not high end. I think I've worked in Chad's Ford, that can be a little stuffy sometimes. So I really just want to make sure everybody feels welcomed.
Okay.
Yeah. Approachable, open. I like that. Yeah. When we were prepping a little bit, and we'll get into this a little bit more, but we were talking about like, those trends that you can play into because of the way your space is. So it's like, we listen and we don't judge, and like you're a welcome opening space where people can come in and feel like they can be themselves.
Yeah.
Do you offer things like silent appointments?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't really have people ask that, but you kind of get a feel for your client, like I have some clients, like we'll talk for a little bit in the beginning and then it's just like dead silence afterwards. So, which I appreciate, because then I can just go in and do my job. And I know a lot of girls like that too, there's only so much you can talk about 3 hours into an appointment.
Well, I guess it does depend on who you're serving, and that's a good point. I think, like, from my experience, I wouldn't ask for things, because I feel like when you get with like a new stylist, maybe not with someone I've done, work with a long time, but I feel a little weird asking, like, I'm unsure sometimes of where to go or what to say. So that's where we were like looking back over your socials and your site. And I love your concept of like the magic and like the feeling safe, and like that's part of it. So we're just starting to wonder out loud, like, hey, would it make sense to let people know like all genders are welcome?
Yeah.
Silent appointments if you'd like.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, kind of telling people what they can ask for, because I think we're a little weird. We don't know how to ask for that.
Yeah, like I don't think I'd be comfortable. Like if I was going in for a new service, I'd be like, could you just not talk to, like, I would never say that. I'd be I would be like, oh my gosh, I'd feel like such an asshole. I'd be like, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. So I think and to Lori's point, it's like your who is really like, you want it to feel special for them. You want it to feel like their safe place, right? And so like giving them, like laying that out ahead of time, that's an option, is like, oh my gosh, like I can ask for that and not feel like anxious about it because it's already an expectation. I think that's wonderful. Lori, I'm going to say an idea now, because if I don't say it now, I'll forget it. And
say it.
But like also, because you've got the university, you've got a lot of things, and you like that storytelling and that fairy tale. What about having like a bookshelf with a bunch of, different books where people could pull them out during their session and read,
And so I'm actually already it's not in the works, but it's been in my in the back where I'm going to do the makeup bar. I'm going to put huge bookcases up, and then I'm going to do a free library back there.
I love that. I think that'll play in really nice and be something really unique for your space too.
Absolutely. Every 5-6 weeks when a client's in, you just swap out a book, and then it's also, it's dual space because we can do makeup there as well. So
that's fun.
Fabulous.
I like that. I was just talking earlier today about book swaps. It's like that's such a cool thing, even if like people can bring in, some of the ones that they've enjoyed from you, share back, and then, kind of keep that going.
Absolutely.
What you don't know, which she won't tell you, is Jonna is an extremely avid reader, but she's also a published author, comes from a family of publishing. So she's in the bookish world of things. Okay. So if
Not
you need
books.
nuance, and also Jonna, I told her you're a maximalist. I'm like, look behind her.
Oh,
Like,
No, I was like, that's like my vibe right there too. Love it. Love it. Love it.
My hallway is ducks. I have a duck hallway and it's all duck art. I've got to fill it up, but it's not full yet.
So we have like mushrooms are our theme in the salon.
Jonna,
I
love.
saw those. I love that wallpaper you had in one of the areas. It was really nice.
Thank you.
For those of you who are not necessarily seeing us, I told Devin before this, I'm like, Jonna and you have the same aesthetic. It's so freaking beautiful what Devin has put together, like objectively. If you don't like it, you probably don't belong there, because it is fabulous just from the photos that we've seen. And actually, speaking of that, so we were looking for like where you were in the building, right? So we went on Google Maps and Google Photos. And so you're part of like a strip, right?
Yeah, I'm part of the shopping center, so community is.
So since Jonna and I are millennials, we're going to tell you that we're the kind of humans who need to know exactly where the door is when we arrive somewhere, because we're totally freaked out that we won't find it.
Yeah.
So an intro video, I don't know if you would put it on your site or just kind of in your Google Maps so people can see how to approach and find you. Some people are awkward like us. Some people aren't, and that's great for you if you're not. If we don't know where to go, we'll kind of like be weird and like do the circle around. If we can't find you, cry a little in the car and maybe call you, or you know what I mean? Like
Anything
it's insignificant, but what's that?
Anything to do to cut down the anxiety, you know?
That's
Yeah.
one of the things, even like when I had my brick and mortar 11, 12, 13 years, I can't do math, long time ago. One of the things was like, how can people find, how easy is it for them to find you? Is it a one-way highway, two-way highway? Anything you can tell them about parking. Is it free? Is it easy? Is it accessible?
Or like what to do when you get there. Do you go and sit in the lobby? Do you check in with the receptionist? Things like that.
Yeah.
It also saves you time because like, there's people who will ask you if it's not a super easy to find answer, they will reach out and ask you every question they have, right? And you got to stop what you're doing and answer that question, or not answer them in time, and then you miss it. And they're like, well, I just did this because I didn't know. So I feel like it also helps save you time, and it takes out some extra steps too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because that's Jonna. I'm sorry. That was
It is.
had her own personal freak out.
I called a nail girl once, and she's like she's Gen Z, and she's like, I don't think I've ever been called like this. Like she's like,
Hey.
I was like, I just aged myself.
Sorry. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the how, how you deliver services. We're going to talk about bookings, and we have systems and questions for you in that arena as well. But in terms of who, I also just wanted to touch on, like, in social media, you've got some beautiful photos. I mean, really stunning. Yeah.
My younger girls, for sure, they kill it.
Very high quality work. That's what we caught our attention immediately, but it's not on the site anywhere.
Okay.
So if you're asking for people to use your Vagaro booking, which would happen either through the site or they have to get linked, through social to the site, etc., I would love to see some representation of myself or whoever your demo and the beautiful color or the cut or, whatever, all those great shots that you've got.
Okay.
If I see myself, I'm like, okay, it's safe. Like, people are there. I can see your face or maybe some of your team. We will talk more about that, but to that end, we don't see your staff anywhere.
Okay. Only on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where we're kind of wondering, because you have Vagaro. So I guess we can just ask the question, are you wanting people to book through Vagaro, or are they just DMing you, or what's the preference?
Yeah, Vagaro, I mean, that's our software system. So everything needs to be done that way.
Okay. And the expectation is all of your staff should be using Vagaro for all the bookings.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to ask more nuance about that. We've set up like Lost Genius before for people who are familiar with Vagaro and the things that it can come with.
Yeah.
We wanted to understand how you're expecting your who to use it. So if that's the case, we would also say the same thing. Having photos in Vagaro for the services would be helpful too.
Okay.
we're all very visual creatures, and you've built something very visually beautiful. So now it's more applying the visuals to the more logistical stuff.
Yeah. It's like every time someone has an experience with you, whether it's in person or online or on, social media, your website, like you want them to have that same feeling no matter where they land. So your website should be a reflection of the space that you're creating, and your social media should be a reflection of those as well. So that way they know no matter where they see you, where they land on you, that's the same feeling and the same kind of branding and expectations.
Okay.
I feel pretty good about the who so far, Jonna. Did we miss anything on?
No, me too. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, because I definitely get the energy. So we break it down. So we kind of narrowed in on the who. We asked you some of the things that we wanted clarity for ourselves to make sure the rest of the conversation makes sense. So when we talk about what, we're talking about what you deliver. And for you, you have a promise or commitment around what you deliver to your staff. That's big for you, I can tell. And then you have a promise around what you deliver to your customers. So now that we understand the who a little bit better, we can ask you some more questions here about staffing and all that. So,
yeah, I think to start off, I kind of want to know what the customer experience is like from reaching out to book through their appointment, because I think this will help us gear some questions around the what and what to ask.
Yeah. So you're talking so when they book an appointment, they get a text message or an email, whatever they sign up for, and they get a confirmation, 2 hours and then 24 hours. You have to call to cancel before 48 hours though. But so basically they walk in, and then the receptionists are super sweet. Kendall is actually my little sister. She's 21.
that's right.
Yeah, she's going to college for business, so she's just been so incredible during this whole process. And then we have Delia too, or Dee. She's been in the salon industry for a really long time, and she's my right hand. So, as soon as you walk in, you're greeted like very nicely by the girls, and it's just very genuine. And then, we have a snack bar now, coffee bar, so you're offered stuff. And then usually your stylist will come up and get you, or an assistant will get set up, and, just making sure you feel comfortable and having the right procedures and consultations. So everybody's on the same page.
I wanted to ask about one Vagaro thing. So we went through your service booking to test and see what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
We saw your cancellation. Love it. Love it. I would never tell you to change that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to hit book and then ruin all your stuff. If I were to hit book, would it then ask me for a credit card?
No, not yet.
So that's what we were wondering about.
Yeah.
If I were to ghost you, let's just say I was rude. Okay. I ghosted you. How does that apply then? How does that rule apply?
So we'll put it, so as of right now, because this is all in the works right now too.
Okay.
As of right now, if you do it before, I believe, so 24 hours, it's going to be half deposit of the appointment for your next appointment. If it's a no-show, we're going to take 100%. That's the problem. We don't have a credit card on file at the moment. So I'm slowly starting to look for a system that integrates my point of sales with the software system. When I took over the salon back in October, they used this prehistoric software system. So it took me about 5 weeks to switch over to Vagaro. That was a beast in and of itself. But this is a system I've used for 10 years. So that's kind of where we're at right now. But their point of sales, their percentage is a little too high. Or Vagaro will take a percentage of the deposit. So I did all of that during the holidays. So now that it's not as crazy time of year, that's going to be something I'm going to be looking into, because a lot of places are doing that now.
Doing the deposit.
Yeah. I think you have to, because like the culture around salons have changed so much. It's not a walk-in culture anymore. It's appointment based, and like you have to protect yourself and your time and your stylist time. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, my stylist, they come to work, they want to get paid. Like, does anybody want to get paid? You know what I mean? Yeah. So kind of being able to be aware, because I feel like a lot of clients aren't aware of how that works either, commission versus hourly, whatever. But yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, and what is your point of sale? What are you using for that?
Clover.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I know about Clover.
Yeah.
So are you trying to switch to having that be your main processor? Because it's not necessarily a CRM, right?
No, but so what I would like to do is be able to put the point of sales into the software system so they can put the credit card and then it's just automatically on file. And so they don't even have to pull their credit card out when they're checking out. It's just on the system too, you know?
Okay. Is that because Clover doesn't take fees, or is it less, or is it significantly less?
I mean, it's a good percentage. It's a low percentage. I'm happy with it. Definitely
Okay.
quite a bit for that one.
So do you know how to make that integrate?
I don't think Clover integrates with Vigaro because Vigaro has its own point of sales and
Right.
they charge like a high percentage, and I'm still paying fees, you know?
Right. I mean, they're competitive in the sense that Stripe and all the other gateways generally charge like a similar. So I know what you mean because we pay fees too, but that sounds like a big problem because you can't only have a POS with no CRM.
Mm-hmm.
And no way to manage, commissions, retail, volume, quantity.
Yeah.
Does
Well,
that
Vigaro takes care of all of that for me.
right? That's what I'm asking is how are you going to get your credit card on file with Clover and not Vigaro when they're booking?
Yeah, I know.
That's the question that you're trying to answer too.
Yep, I got to figure it out because, I got to learn a new software system at that point. So,
Hey, it's Jonna here with today's sponsored ad. This episode is brought to you by 40 Day Publishing, the company that makes publishing accessible for everyday people with a story to tell. If you've ever thought, I should write a book someday, 40 Day Publishing is here to turn that someday into right now. Founded by authors for authors, they've helped over 140 independent authors publish more than 270 titles. And they do it without the gatekeepers, the confusion, or the crazy price tags that traditional publishing is known for. Their core belief is simple. You don't need years to write and publish your book. You need a proven process, the right support, and 40 days. Whether you write fiction, nonfiction, children's books, or memoirs, 40 Day Publishing has walked authors just like you through the entire journey. You ready to write that book? Head to 40dayworkshops.com to register for their next live free workshop. That's 40dayworkshops.com because your story deserves to be told.
I was thinking Square. Square was a good one. They were a good percentage, and they usually integrate with a lot of softwares too. So, or
Jonna,
just software that has a low percentage with their point of sale. So,
what business bank do you use?
Citadel, it's a credit union.
Oh, it is. Okay. Do they have any integrations
No.
that they offer?
No.
Blue Vine is a virtual one, and they now offer, I think it's mostly invoicing. I'm not sure that they offer the gateway feature with like the credit card on file because you need a licensure and all that for keeping that. But to me, I mean, for John and I, we generally think of the fees as the cost of doing business, and so making sure pricing reflects that. I think we would definitely encourage you to start getting credit cards on file regardless.
Absolutely.
Because we care about you guys. We don't want you left hanging. That sucks. And we got to train people. Part of the experience is you treat us with kindness and love.
We got you.
We treat you the same way. Yeah. So I was also kind of wanting to just take a step back and asking you, like, say you got sick or something happened to you, which we would never want to happen to you, but you're out for 2 weeks. What would break down?
I got a pretty good team behind me. I don't stress about that at all. Like, I stress so they don't have to stress, but if it needed to happen and stuff, like, everybody's got it there, like,
Okay.
They're great.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then Jonna, did you want to switch back into more of like the value system and all that?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit like about your core values, because I think that plays a lot into your what, and then also, kind of like who you serve, because there's always those, red flag clients where we're like, oh no, like they do not value the same things that we value. So, what values are you kind of like putting decisions up against, right? Like if a staff is a good fit, if a customer is a red flag, like what are those values that you compare to?
I just honestly always worry about being honest and just like being respectful and kindness. I think kindness goes a long way.
Honest, respect, kindness.
Yeah. I think those are great. Yeah.
That's great. That's where we in our business, we have our core values and we make all our decisions against that. And that's what we encourage people to do. So it sounds like you've got them in place and making sure that people know that on that site and
Mhm.
socials. It's
Mhm.
good because it's okay to set the expectation for people. This is how you behave in this environment,
Mhm.
and this is how we behave and how we'll treat you. I think it's a two-way street,
Yeah.
and I think you will attract those people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that like bringing that honesty into your marketing, like in the same vein, being like, we created something new because we were sick of toxic salon culture, and like just saying it, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
people understand.
Absolutely.
Which I
So
love.
I'd like to shift because you said you're working 50 hours, right? Behind the chair, you're doing your own chair.
Mhm.
So you take on the stress so they don't have to. You mentioned, cash flow kind of finance, maybe some taxes stuff. Can you name then what is it that's stressing you out? Because you said the floor is all, done, figured out, saved for. I'm not hearing the finance stuff. So help me out. What is it?
I honestly just strive for perfection all the time. I never like want to run out of color or have the girls, like run out of anything. Like God forbid somebody's sick that day. There's just so many things that can go wrong on a daily basis. Like this morning I get a text from Dee and she's like, there's a bird's nest in the dryer vent and it's flying around like crazy. And my one esthetician, Candace, is getting ready for a facial. Like I have to learn not to like sweat those things basically. But
Okay.
yeah, I hate the end of the month. That's when I usually have payroll taxes, rent, and then my point of sales coming out too. So that's always when I stress the most. But it's just constantly paying attention to things and trying to cut corners where you can and still being able to deliver quality too. So, I mean, hair world's expensive. There's a lot of overhead.
So you pay for all of the products, color, things like that. Your stylists don't have to do that. And then are you paying a cleaner or a cleaning service, or y'all just clean? Everybody cleans.
Yeah, the assistants. Yeah, usually. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
Those are my 3 MOs too, is I like cleanliness, I
Mhm.
like organization,
Mhm.
and then efficiency. Those are my 3 main things.
And are you tracking your retail through Vagaro, or do you have a system where you have all your products so that you know when things are down or when to
Yep.
order?
Oh, yeah, and then the receptionists, they do pretty good. The assistants will go around and they'll do back stock, that kind of thing. So
Okay, so you have a system for managing retail, ordering.
Mhm.
That's handled.
Mhm.
It doesn't sound like, well, we're going to talk taxes. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but I'm not hearing finance. I'm hearing that you get enjoyment out of being stressed out every month.
Yeah, that probably. I think so. I thrive under chaos. I'll take all the pressure.
Wait a minute, Donna. You got to tell her our quote.
Chaos is not cute, is that? we're I tend to lean the same way. I'm a little bit more I've had to like teach myself, right, to not, because I'm that person who like always wants something to do. I'm never sitting at home. Like I'm like, yeah, sure, I can totally do this. And I've had to like train myself to be like, no, it's putting a lot of stress on you and your body and how you sleep, and like you gotta control it. So I like to call it controlled chaos. So I've kind of made a pivot to do controlled chaos in my life.
That's where
I really invite you to thrive on something else. It's not sustainable. I cannot stand by and say, oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because if you're really not, there's not really a constraint on the money flow. You've got systems in place. Like you guys handle laundry, the cleaning, you got the retail going on. There's really not a lull. I would also wonder, just because I don't know, you've got 2 receptionists and then was it 2 assistants?
Mhm.
What do they do? I mean, obviously reception, I get that, right? But is there something else, or is anybody redundant?
What do you mean? Like, do they do other jobs besides just that?
What do they do, and are all 4 necessary?
Yes, absolutely. So especially, Dee, she's been there for a long time. She definitely has the most hours and stuff. But if just she ever has to call out, anything happens, Kendall's there, my sister as well. And then the assistants, they assist with the hairstylist, cleaning, all that kind of stuff. But I'm there on the weekends, like I said, I'm trying to cut wherever I can. So I'm there on the weekends, cleaning, picking up anything I don't do on the weekends, the assistants will do during the week. So.
And why do you feel like you have to do that on the weekends?
Well, because then no clients are in the way. They don't like to smell the cleaning products.
Deeper clean, like a deeper cleaning.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Like the lighter stuff, like I am OCD. The girls know baseboards, all of that. That's getting done throughout the day multiple
Right.
times.
Of course.
Yeah.
We would agree with that. Having brick and mortar, I mean, ceiling to floor.
Yeah.
If someone can see, I agree with you. That's
Yeah.
that's like an everyday thing.
Mhm.
So how much money do you need? What are you spending? What's the number that you spend every single month with all that? What's your expenditure?
With cleaning products or just like my overhead, everything?
At the end of the month, you're stressing, you're freaking, you're paying, you're all this stuff. How much of that, what's going out? What's the number generally? It could be an average.
Probably around.
Okay. And then generally, what's the income looking like? Again, average.
It's pretty.
Okay. So you're making about, you're spending about.
Mhm.
What other things are you spending on? Because I know that you've got a point of sale. Are there any other subscriptions or tools that you're using, maybe not using, half using, sort of using?
Yeah.
Tools?
Yeah. I mean, payroll's my big one. Like,
Oh,
is that,
Yeah.
but product color, that's a lot right there.
Okay.
Supplies, coffee, all of that kind of stuff. Payroll, taxes. I'm trying to think of like my big ones. Yeah, rent's another big one.
And I'm assuming, do you have an accountant and a bookkeeper handling all that for you? Okay. So you've got the people. Yeah, I would never say cut that ever. But like, are you paying?
Headache.
Are you using are you paying for AI? Are you paying for tools for scheduling content? Are there any other like memberships or subscriptions or things that you're paying for?
Not really. No, I mean, we'll do like some advertising on Facebook and Instagram, stuff like that. But we've gotten pretty lucky with staying in their algorithms and organic reach that way.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. But yeah, subscription wise, I don't really have anything. Like I'm trying to keep it as tight as I can right now. So
Okay. And then do each of your staff have a responsibility to market themselves, market the business?
Yeah, I mean, they know what's expected out of them. Well, not even expected out of them. They know what it takes. They know what they need to do. So
Okay. So either the top line or the bottom line has to move. And you're saying the bottom line is as tight as you can get it.
Mhm.
So it sounds
What are you at capacity wise for booking? Like how much more capacity do you have for appointments during, when you're open?
We're still building for sure. I mean, I have 2-3 girls that have like a pretty solid book. And then the other ones are of course building too. And then I have 10 stations and I have 5 stylists, 2 assistants building. So then I have 3 more stations open? 2 more? 3 more. 3 more.
okay. When you spend your time in the salon, other than doing your own clients, what are you doing when you're there?
Oh, I'm answering emails. I'm going over inventory. I'm running around getting supplies. Yeah.
I wonder why though, because you said you have 2 receptionists and 2 assistants handling all that.
Well, they're handling like clients and stuff like that, but I'm doing paying, bills, insurance, doing this kind of stuff, trying to get the name out there, that kind of thing.
That's what I would say too, is like anything that you can do that you don't need to be doing to anyone, like retail, inventory, all that stuff, you have systems in place. If your top line needs to be increasing, it makes more sense for you to have the money making action items on your to-do list. Okay. I agree with you, podcasting, networking, especially where you are in the north of Delaware. My God, there's so many groups doing like intentional events where you can either do free consults or I'm not a fan of discounting hair stuff, but a free something or other that gets people in, working with your current staff to understand how to increase retention. Do they have loyalty in Vagaro, loyalty stuff in their loyalty program?
No, not yet.
I would prioritize that immediately.
Okay.
Credit cards and loyalty program.
Okay.
Even back in the 2000s, there was a salon that I loved, and their biggest thing was their loyalty program. That was probably before a lot of people started doing that. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, they killed it with the retention and the continuous booking. I feel like for you, money-making moves are like getting all your staff making the most amount of money possible. And if that's a gap in them understanding how to market, what to say, where to post, all of that makes sense. Okay. All is minimal emailing, crap, inventory, don't do that. Even paying bills and stuff, see what you can offload to your accountant, your bookkeeper, your girls. They sound like they're incredibly intelligent and you have wonderful people. Jonna, how hard is that? That is almost impossible.
It is really hard to find good people. It's so
hard. So if you already won that battle,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, yeah, that's what my closer entrepreneur friends that are self-made too, they say that too. You gotta,
it's time.
So-
It's hard.
time. I know we're almost 6 months in, yeah, the girls are doing good.
Well, the good news is that you have the people in place. Like a
do.
lot of times people, like when sometimes we talk to people like you need to delegate something, they don't have anything in place to be able to delegate. So the mountain they have to climb is a lot steeper because you've done so much of the work already to get people that are reliable, that are good at communicators, that have the same values as you, that you can start to, offload like maybe one thing at a time. Don't like dump everything on them all at once, but maybe like, hey, could you guys take over the social media? You know what I mean? Could you make it your responsibility to make sure that you're going around during client time, taking pictures, videos, and scheduling out content, right? That could be something that your assistant does to take that off your plate so you don't even have to worry about it. You know that content's going out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the social media, I mean, the girls definitely do have a good handle on that, but no,
Yeah.
you're right. Some of the stuff like receptionists can handle and whatnot, inventory stylists can do here and there, but I just sure that they know that they can count on me and I'm going to be there and everything's going to get taken care of and I'm going to follow through with what I say I'm going to do.
I think you already embody that. I don't think you have to continue to worry yourself that if they think that. I think the fact that you wonder about it means you've already gotten there. And showing up for them with education, not I know hair. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
Marketing,
Mhm.
sales. This is the stuff, generally speaking, humans suck at. It's just a human condition. We don't know how to make sales or how to ask for money. We're all weird, or a lot of us are. Like, I would say that's how you show up for them. And they're like, damn, like, wow, like we just got a marketing class today. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't see that a lot. And I give you so much props, Jonna, to your point. Like, you have so much in place. You have Vagaro, right? So make sure you put that freaking platform to work. Have it do your retail for you if it's not.
Okay.
Because I believe there's retail management in there. I know Gloss Genius had it when we were looking the last time. But offload that. And also, I had another question. You're fixing some stuff in your location. Things were broken. Was that like landlord stuff, like fixtures, or was that just more like
The heat was the only thing that was landlord, but thank God. Thank
Okay.
God.
We were just kind of curious if you were taking on a little too much for what you needed to. Some states are better with laws like that, and some are not. Where Jonna lives, it's not so great.
Terrible here in Oklahoma. Like,
Yeah. So we just wanted to make sure you weren't like taking on too much.
Honestly, it's going a lot better now.
Okay.
Back in the fall when I took over, that was rough. I thought the universe was really trying to break me back then. Really trying to break me. Comcast. Ooh, don't even get me started on
Listen,
and buying a salon, and because I didn't even get to do the renovations I wanted to do then, because I here comes this like new owner talking to this girl's like, oh, I'm buying this place, oh, I want to do renovations, and then it's the holidays and everything's breaking, and then I'm not having the time nor the energy or money to like follow through with what I said I was going to do, and it was just like backtracking. I felt terrible about that, because they were probably girl doesn't stick to her word or anything. And then it was just mayhem and doing it during the holidays. That's the busiest time of year for salons. So
yeah.
it is.
it's felt a lot easier nowadays, which is pretty, but it's just been the last few weeks. So we'll see.
With your staff, are you doing like meetings? Do y'all have like a Monday meeting, staff meeting? Okay.
Yeah, not Mondays. I try not to do it on people's days off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Duh. Yes, you guys.
Yeah. But like Fridays, like we've met twice now, just to go over everything. And it's, some people came from a salon that closed down. Some people came from the old salon that I took over. People came that used to work for me. So it's a meshed family right now. We're all just trying to figure out where our places are and, what we can do to help each other out.
I think it's a structure that will serve what you're trying to say is making sure you show up and keeping or honoring your word. For me, it's like either you keep your word or you honor it. Sometimes things change.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't make sense to do that thing that you said, but acknowledging it makes everything like okay again. So I would just keep inviting you to find something consistent, like a bi-monthly thing. Maybe you don't need weekly, but we do that with our team too. We have contractors here, and having that monthly checkpoint Oh my God, I can't even tell you the stupid little things because we're virtual. There was a technical thing happening and she was trying to find the language to explain it. And finally we just shared screens. I was like, oh my God, this stupid thing we set up broke. This automation broke.
Yeah. And I think too, like it lets people feel like they're heard, right? Because if you're getting everybody together on a regular basis, that's a time where you can be like, how are you doing? Like, what do you need? Do you need, more clients? Do you need, things like that? Like, what can we highlight for you? And like they feel heard, right? Too, where they have a place to bring up their concerns and it doesn't become like, oh gosh, like I need money. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do kind of thing.
Yeah. And they can tell you like, I do need a freaking marketing class. Like I'm like lost or like the nuance of what you can deliver. And then you can bring people in sometimes and have them teach them like you do with their services.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's another structure that having that consistently I love that you're always concerned about that. That's so great about you. Just remember that. Remember what you're so caught up in, by the way. Like take a moment for yourself to just really get how awesome that is, that you want to get so caught up in, do they perceive that I'm delivering what I say? And those are real checkpoints. They're going to be able to start feeling like they can be honest with you in those meetings.
Yeah. Because I feel like, too, if I was a stylist at your salon and during the holidays and you were like, I know I said I wanted to come in here and do these renovations, but like, honestly, I'm trying to keep things running so you guys can keep making money during the holidays so you don't have to stress. Like, I think if you'd have just said that, they'd have been like, that makes so much sense. Like, we're going to circle back to this after the holidays. She's putting our priorities first. And it's just like, being, like you said, being honest, but communicating. I mean, it really boils down to communication a lot of times.
Absolutely. That's another big one for me.
Well, that's great. So this could be a new structure to honor what you love, honor your people. And I was also kind of curious a little bit more about the legal, maybe there's like a tax or legal stuff. Was there something specifically you said you were avoiding?
Just stuff that I get confused on. I mean, it's not like I'm avoiding stuff because I'm pretty full force with everything I'm doing. I tend to like not let things slip under the radar or anything like that. But when I get a little confused with taxes or like there's something on QuickBooks, like my QuickBooks is off somehow, or that's where I'm kind of like, shit, you know what I mean? So,
okay. Is it something where like your bookkeeper comes to you with a question and you're not sure?
No, I'll just set up a meeting with her. I actually have one coming up soon with her just so I can go over everything, and make it perfect.
Okay. So again, this is not actually a financial thing. This is you living in the chaos of, I need to make sure I'm always like, doing something because if it's not perfect.
Yeah.
You're really catching yourself up in a lot of extra energy. Interesting. Because you're so like, you're fitness minded and you've got all this energy for life and stuff. I don't think you've got all that energy to waste on like crap. Like you don't occur to me as somebody who wastes a lot of their time.
I do not like my time wasted.
Okay, girl. Well, check in with yourself first, because I think you're the only one wasting your time on stuff. Maybe like, I don't know if you're like a voice to texter, but it helps me get the shit out of my body. Sometimes I have to say it. I can't just write it. Some people like to journal. Sometimes I like to scream it, and I just voice to text into the void, into like an email draft and delete it. I just want to offer ideas for you because I do think you need to get it out of your body. Like, I want to be perfect. A stupid effing bookkeeping, stupid bullshit question is annoying. Okay, I have a call booked Friday. I'll be fine. But like sometimes you just have to like get it out of your body.
Yeah.
Take your time down to like give yourself 1 minute. You're a fitness girly. Set the Tabata timer, okay? You get 1 minute to be pissed and then that's it. I'll think of you later in the gym today when my timer goes off. I'll be like, she had 1 minute. That was it. But I think we should talk a little bit about the delivery. So I think we have a sense of like all the things you have in place to deliver to your people, whether it's customer or staff. I'm very clear you got this shit going on, girl. Super clear. So I think in the delivery of like, how do they book? How do they contact? Do you find everybody right now all goes through Vagaro, or do they call? Do they come in? Do they DM? What's happening?
I would say majority book online, and then I would probably say 20% call. Phone's a lot busier, and then my sister just started a new, funneling system too, so we've been doing that to get new clients as well. So that would be DMs and stuff like that.
Okay, which tool is that?
Oh, I gotta ask her that.
Okay. But
Yeah.
that would be like a thing that you're paying for probably too. So just be aware, make sure that you keep, whether it's a spreadsheet, we do simple spreadsheets because we don't like to be super techy. Believe me, if Jonna had to deal with tech all day, it would just explode. But making sure you have that list too, like if she started many chats or if she started something like that for funneling with DMs, that way you know your ROI on like, okay, $20 a month doesn't sound like a lot, but when I got like freaking nothing because nobody wanted to comment the word haircut,
Yeah.
you know, you're on top of it. So I would say you're probably like, you're like 95% there, but just check on that. Because Jonna, we love Jonna, but John, you've said sometimes you'll subscribe and then kind of forget, or like you won't use it as much.
I will, even if I set like a reminder in my calendar to like cancel, sometimes I just won't see it and it'll just go on. So I have to be like being more creative and like scatterbrained. I have to be like super aware of it, you know, and so keep idea of that because I'm like, oh, this is so cool, and I'll get it, and then yeah. So
yeah, because a lot of them also don't talk, so you'll get leads through this system, but then how do they get to Vagaro? You know, is it just because, you know, are they DMing and then she automates the link? Maybe that's what it is, and then they book through Vagaro like that. That could be a thing.
Yeah, because Vagaro links Instagram too. So our Instagram has gotten pretty big. I think we've like quadrupled in size since we took over.
We like your videos. Yeah, we were looking. We really like the videos and things like that.
We really do. I think it's more like clarifying now because you've got a great foundation. So I think it's like, get your staff on the site. Get the
I think that's the big thing. I think that's the big thing for us is really like we, you know, talking to you, we can hear so much about your passion and your values and your customer experience. And I want to see that on the website. I want someone to go to the website and they see, you know, like even if you take a close-up picture of that mushroom wallpaper and have it as like a texture on some of the parts of your website, right? Bring in that branding, bring in some wood, bring in some moss, bring in mushrooms, show client pictures. You can integrate your Instagram feed into Wix where your content will live go onto your website so people can actually like that helps it stay fresh, right? Like you're always pulling stuff on there. So I want to see that, and I want to see the same thing kind of like on your, we really liked the introduction graphics with like the little arrows and the stylus, like doing like even taking something like that where you don't have a background on it and putting it on the site for each one of the stylists so people can feel like they know the stylist, they see their face beforehand. Like I love knowing what people's faces look like before I go into a space because then I know who I'm looking for too. Because not all salons have receptionists either. So sometimes people won't know walking in if there's going to be a receptionist or if there's going to be, you know, kind of hovering at the front trying to figure out who their stylist is. I've had that weird experience and they're like, who are you looking for? And I'm like, I don't know. Like,
don't remember. That's such a good point. I feel like, I had another thought about staff, but I think what you're saying is exactly it's applying what you've already got so that because everything is basically from your website, that's why it's so important that all of this matches. Oh, and like infusing like silent appointments, talking about the safety, the kindness,
bringing up your coffee and snack bar, like having that as a whole featured section because that's freaking awesome.
Have your intro, open the door, walk in, show how it's like from the parking lot walking in, like easy. This is so easy for you guys, ridiculous. You probably already have half this crap that you just like, it's just not on here.
Yep.
Right. All the customer experience stuff, all genders, the safety, and then tell people like if you can even put a little video, here's how to book. Like your content's great, but like also show them how do I book here. I click the button, I pick my service. Add your photos into Vagaro for each service, even if it's different stylists or whatever, whomever. So I can see that. Click this, click that. Put in your credit card. That way you secure your spot. Blah blah blah. Show up here. Don't give me any reason to be lost in the sauce.
Yeah, for sure.
And all these things will contribute to your bookings and make your bookings go up because it answers people's questions. It helps that conversion rate go up because it's like, oh my gosh, they already answered all my questions. I didn't even have to like dig around for them, right? And it creates that experience. And then same thing with like your marketing because really it sounds like you just need to increase your clientele, your appointment booking, and that upper line is going to go up and create a bigger separation between that and your bottom line. So you're really close to the university. pop up at an event there, do tinsel installs with your staff, right? And hand out cards to everybody. Just like, now that you're going to free up some of your time by delegating to some of the staff you already have in place, you'll have more time to do things like that and go out and represent and just be creative.
Yeah, for sure.
And it also, having your staff on the site gives them more autonomy and ownership over marketing, because they have a spot where they can say, look, that's me. This is what I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you want that as landing page, about page, it doesn't matter how you do it. It can always evolve. Start with something really, really simple and throw it up there. I think, were you one of the ones who said you weren't like in love with your site? You're like, you spent a lot of time and you weren't like, thrilled.
No, I like my website.
You like it. I couldn't remember. I talked to like 3 or 4 people, so I apologize. Some people spend a lot of time. They love it. Most of the people we talk to spend a lot of time, but then they hate it because they're terrible designers. We're not upset with any of your design look, but it's like, above the fold before we scroll, let me know right now what I can expect. What's the problem you're solving for me, which is like maybe even mentioning, hey, have you ever had that bad haircut, or that nurture that you want them to know. We're going to take you out of whatever toxic thing you were in before. Were you ever ghosted by your stylist? These are things, whether you put them on your site or socials. We worked with someone also before who talked about that. And that was a big part of the reason why people came to her.
Mm-hmm.
They had really bad experiences before, to your point of what you said, the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, you get to come here and like, feel safe. And I want to see all that before I even scroll.
Okay.
But I love that you also have a button right there. So you're already ahead of the curve. Let me tell you, a lot of people don't have a button.
Yes.
At the top.
Buttons are good.
It's a call to action.
Miss.
Yeah, it's like we love the foundation of the site. We just want more. We just want more of it.
You want
That's
more.
all. Yeah,
More personalized.
Yeah.
exactly. It's like it worked for when it did, but now it's time to take it to the next level and
Yeah.
just integrate more. So it's steps, just like everything else. It's like this probably won't be the last step either. 6 months down the line, you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to add this next thing onto the website, and it's growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these are money-making moves. Every single time you do a networking event, you do a pop-up, you host a thing, you go on a podcast, that's a money-making move, because now you're getting either more reach, more engagement, visibility, clicks, books, all of that.
Absolutely.
If you can spend 100% of your time, that'd be a goal, but not yet. Let's get you 90 or 80% of your time doing that. To Jonna's point, let's slowly offload the stuff so that you can take these actions. So I feel like putting what you already know and love on your site is one of the biggest takeaways. I think the other one really is you don't have a lot of financial issue. You are just new in business, and this is normal. And I really keep inviting you to keep releasing whatever you have about that being perfect or right or the best, or your staff is so grateful to you for what you've provided. I can tell because I can see how happy they are in their videos and the posts. All that extra stress just takes all that time away from all the marketing you could be doing. Because you've got something really, really special.
Yeah.
Epic. And really, I like the magic that you said. I think that's really cool. You've got something magical.
Yeah, I think so too. It takes a village, I can't take all the credit. My girls too. I got a great group there.
It starts from the top, right? The culture. And we see it. Even just in the sheer fact that your socials have boomed, we could tell.
Yeah.
Content. And let me tell you, Jonna doesn't always have a lot of great compliments when it comes to content. If she does, she's doing.
Oh, you've been doing good. Yeah, no, you've been doing great. So. Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Well, and I like that you can recognize, and for some people who are listening, something might feel like it's financial or there's something, but really, if you look underneath, if you can lift that and look and say, it's really not the finances. It's really that I just like to freak out about stuff for a little while, and it doesn't make sense for me to spend my time doing that anymore. It got me to this point, won't get me to the next point.
Calm the fuck down sometimes.
Fuck down sometimes, girl. I like that. Shirts by Devin. Calm the fuck down.
I like it. That's the first first merch. No,
First
On
merch.
the back. Chaos isn't cute. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one too, honestly.
We're gonna be putting that on. We have a little pill bottle as our logo, which you'll see when it all comes out. But Chaos isn't cute might be one of our first little, I don't know, stickers. I don't know what we're gonna make.
Something fun.
We're not sure.
Yeah.
Something fun.
I feel good. How do you feel?
I feel good.
All right. Yeah.
Keep it going,
All right. Yeah. Well, I think this is great. So what we want to do is we want to thank you for being here today and being this open with us. And the fact that you came in with no specific question and you still got so much to work with and you gave us so much and we learned together, and it says a lot about who you are. So I want to know what your biggest takeaway from today is.
I think just hearing like other perspectives from people and like hearing that you guys like get uncomfortable or like maybe a little more anxiety, which I'm not that type of person. So like it helps me be able to cater to everybody and stuff that doesn't even cross my mind because that's not the world I live in my head, you know. So being able to make everybody feel comfortable.
That's awesome. And we're excited to check it back in with you and see, you know, what changes and the cool new pictures, and, you know, we'll be watching your site. And as I said before, we'll have everything linked in the show notes so that if you're, you know, wanting to peek at Devin's progress and see some beautiful new things on her site, they're going to be there.
Lots more.
What's that?
Lots more to come.
Lots more to come. And to the people who are listening or watching, if you are, you know, experiencing this and maybe recognizing yourself or kind of feeling a little bit of like Devin's story for yourself, you're kind of like, you're doing the right things, but maybe like one little thing away from, for her, it wasn't so much a bad week, but for some people, one decision could really lead to a whole ripple effect of stuff, because we don't all have an amazing staff and culture that Devin's worked so hard for. So if you've got a lot of the good stuff, but you're still feeling kind of stuck, we would love to talk to you. Working harder really isn't always the answer, especially because we all have the exact same amount of time in a day, and building smarter is the way to go. So you don't have to figure that out alone. If you want your own reality check and you're open to being a guest on the show, we have a link in the show notes below, but you can head to becomethrive.com. That's becomethrive.com, again, linked below, so that you can come on the show, and we promise to tell you the truth, no matter how uncomfortable things get. So thank you so much again, and we will see you all in the next episode.
Success is a lie if you're failing inside. You can't grow a business you hate.